Lights, camera, action. Welcome back, guys. We are officially over 10 episodes.
Oh, true. Was last week our 10th?
I think last week was our 10th ep.
Not including our intro.
Not including, because we have our little trailer up on Spotify. But yeah, 10th episode. Full episode.
High five.
We've done it. We can retire. Just kidding. No, we can't. We don't make any money from this yet. So
absolutely not.
We cannot. Not even slightly close. But yeah, a little milestone, which is very exciting.
Yay.
Yay. And we've been somewhat consistent recently. So that's super exciting as well.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier, saying how proud of ourselves we are because
we're in a little routine now.
we can't stop.
We can't stop. We got to keep going.
Yeah.
I'm actually really enjoying the podcast recently as well. Like, I feel like it's filling my cup, if you will.
Love that for you.
So in today's episode, would you call this a bonus ep? I think this is a bonus ep. This is going to be a bit more of like a lighthearted chit chat between Kayla and I, which we would usually do off camera or like not in front of microphones anyway, just about influencers that we're really loving at the moment, influencers that are kind of in the spotlight on social media, and why we love them, whether it's like the way they engage with their community online or the way they like do brand collabs really, really well. We just kind of want to chat about that because I mean, we follow a lot of influencers ourselves and use a lot of people I use a lot of people as inspiration. I'm constantly looking at people and I'm like, wow, you did that so well.
Yeah.
So from like a business perspective, but also just like a follower's perspective as well, like why we're loving these creators. Yeah.
Okay, do you want to start?
Yeah.
Do you want to start?
You start.
Okay.
I've already done enough talking.
Already, we're 5 minutes in.
Standard.
Okay, so the first one I had written down was Brittney Saunders.
Oh my God. Why did I not even have her written down?
I'm surprised you didn't. Have we
gosh.
spoken about her a bit on the potty?
I don't know if we've spoken about her on the podcast, no, but we do talk about her frequently off camera and off, like not in front of mics. We are not obsessed.
She's just really good at marketing.
She's incredible.
Yeah.
She's a marketing genius.
Yeah. Like she's got how many businesses? 1, 2?
No, she's got more than that.
She's got Fate. She's got her cafe.
I'm pretty sure the cafe is also a studio.
Oh, really?
And then I think you could count her influencing like her social media as another business.
Yeah.
So I would say she's got
3
or 4 roughly, but like she's just an absolute powerhouse. And she has really led the way with marketing for her own brand. And also like we see so many influencers launching their own brands. It is just a done thing.
Standard.
But she has done it so well.
Yeah. And I think she's really taken full advantage of TikTok to like not like launch her business off the ground, but like promote the shit out of her business, like Fate the label.
But what I love is that the videos aren't about the label.
Yeah.
And it's not about the clothes. It's not being like, hey, look at this dress. It's beautiful. You should all wear it. It's like the behind the scenes and them at work and like the atmosphere in the community that they have in the workplace, which then converts into people wanting to buy their products because they're good people.
Yeah. My main point for having Brittney Saunders down as one, and I've spoken to you about this off the podcast before, but I think the reason why she's so good at marketing is because it's her own business and she's not afraid to put stuff out there. Like, I feel like a lot of companies wouldn't do what she does. Yeah. Just because it is, would you say it's risky? I don't know.
I mean, when it comes to having marketing teams that do social media for your company, there's probably a bit of like a boundary there where they're like, am I going to cross the line with these videos? Like, do I have to run this past the brand owner before I can put this up? Whereas Brittney doing it herself, you can't break any rules when you're the one that creates
doesn't think
the
twice.
rules.
Yeah.
Like, you are your business.
Yeah.
You get to define where that line is. and she can just go absolutely crazy with it. But it's her. She's using her personality and the things that people love about her on social media that's essentially gotten her to where she is today to now sell her products.
Yeah.
And I think that is so cool. Especially because, like I said before, she's not like overly selling her product itself. She's not, you know, obviously she does photo shoots for the clothes, and she has been very open about the fact that it's very size inclusive and there's things about the brand that are amazing and that make her stand out from other clothing brands, but it's the way she markets herself, her team, and the brand all in one. Like, it's so clever.
And I think too, you know how she does those TikToks where she shouts out the people who have bought and they like pack her order or whatever. That too is like including the consumer in their content, and it probably makes the consumer feel...
It makes them feel appreciated.
Yeah.
Like, they're spending their hard-earned money on her products, and she is making them feel valued. That is so important.
Yeah.
Like, so important.
Yeah.
And how many other brands are now doing exactly what she's done?
Yeah.
Like, that's how you know you're an absolute powerhouse.
Yeah. But yeah, that was my first one.
I feel like I could talk forever about Brittney Saunders. I just think she's so... Actually, I don't know if I've ever told you this. I went to the launch for Fate the Label in Sydney when she first ever launched it.
Yeah, right.
And it was like, I think it was literally just an online... Was it online? No, she had a store in Newcastle. I can't remember how she started, but it was very small, like very limited range. And it's so cool seeing that and like how she started, because she had some clothes on racks at the launch and stuff. Like, but now it's just... She's just come so far. It's so cool.
Hasn't she just opened one in Chermside too?
I think it's opening in July.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. To have stores now in Westfield shopping centres is unreal. So cool. But yeah, I feel like I could talk about her for ages. She's such an inspiration to anyone in marketing. So the next person that I had written down is Amy Gerard. And I don't know.
Oh, yeah, you love Amy Gerard.
So I've recently sent like a few of her things to Kayla, just because the way that she connects and just how real and raw she is on social media.
I think she's similar to Brittney in a way.
Yeah.
Because she's not afraid either. She is a risk taker, and like the her captions, like...
Can I read out one of her captions on the podcast? So the post that I specifically sent to Kayla a couple of weeks ago, the photo is a photo of Amy and her husband, Ryan. And the caption is, "If anyone has seen this man, please return him to lost property and I will pick him up tomorrow. He answers to Ryan, Rian, Bad Girl Riri, Custard Arms, Big Man, T-Rex and Hot Pocket. But for reals, I haven't seen the bloke all week, which is an ongoing thing in his line of work. So he's either 1, having an affair at work and leading a double life, definitely possible seeing as though I don't wax his sword as often as he'd like, or number 2, he's a busy man in a busy role working hard to give us a good life and also making sure he takes his customers to all his favorite sporting events." It goes on, but I feel like that caption hooks you in straight away. You get to know her and her personality and her humor, but it's also something that so many of us can like have a giggle at, but also be like, you know what? I'm the same.
Yeah.
Like, I know for me reading that, my husband, Ben, he works his butt off, and he sometimes, you know, I don't see him for ages. Like, we always joke about stuff like that as well. It makes you feel less alone seeing influencers online going through similar things with their husbands or their families. And like, she's a mum of 3. So it's a very relatable thing, but in such a humorous and entertaining way. And like, she does brand collabs with, I saw as I was scrolling through, she's got like Milk Lab, Bang & Bod, Tim Tam. She does a bunch of like different wine collabs and stuff, but all of her branded videos still encompass that exact humor and like exactly who she is as a person in those brand collabs. She does it so well. Yeah. I just think, I don't know, I think she's a really cool person to follow because she's not overly curated. She doesn't edit her stuff. Like, She's just who she is unapologetically, and she's still so successful in the industry. It's really, really cool.
Okay, Riley J.
Yeah, I had her written down as well.
Okay, there's this one collab that Riley did with Target back in December.
We've spoken about this so many times.
I literally am so obsessed with that collaboration. I don't know why.
It was the Christmas one, hey?
Yes.
Yeah.
But it was just so funny, and like I feel like she really showed her true personality in that collaboration. She does her brand collaborations really well.
Yeah, she does.
Like, and makes them funny. And I think that's why I like her, is because she's just constantly funny. And I don't know if it's her accent.
Honestly, I've said this to you so many times. I'm like, is she funny because of her accent?
Yeah,
or is she funny because she's funny? And I think it's honestly a mix of both. I think it's the execution, her dry sense of humor mixed with her accent.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
But even her and Jazz Hand together, when they like are online together, they're pretty funny together as well.
So I had Jazz and Riley written down kind of together. I feel like very much on social media at the moment they are a little duo. But the main reason I had them written down, I knew you were going to touch on that side of it, so I wanted to come from a different perspective, which was they both started and kind of had their rise to fame on social media in a health and fitness way. And they have transitioned out of that health and fitness focused era on social media so well, while still maintaining really, really good engagement. Like, they've just kind of diverted their path while still being really relatable. And like, I know I've seen Jazz come out and say, you know, I don't know. I don't want to put words into her mouth. I don't think she's said she regrets doing the health and fitness stuff that she did, because she was very much about like keto and those kind of like diet culture type things. She's come out and said like she will never do that again. She won't ever do keto again. She just doesn't agree with it. And I'm not saying she's regretting it, but I do think she realizes it's probably not the best thing to be putting on social media. But the fact that she's even come out and said she's open about that and like shown that growth and that transition on social media and just being so real about it. Like, and I think Riley's the same, because I think Riley started off in, her username used to be,
Healthy Chick?
The Healthy Chick.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, so she was very much into like the health and fitness side of stuff too. And they've both just done such a good job at transitioning out of that focus, but keeping the engagement and keeping people interested in who they are as people, not the things that they were just talking about.
Well, Riley still has her, what's that business she has?
Her activewear.
Yeah, she still has that.
Yeah. I think she's got a couple of businesses.
Does she?
Yeah, I think she's got like jeans and stuff under another, is it Georgia and Joseph?
Oh, is that hers?
Yeah, I believe that's her.
Yeah, right.
And then she's got Remy.
Yeah,
by Riley.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah, so again, I don't know, I think she's done a really good job. Both of them have done a really good job just showing their lives and like their growth on social media and staying really relevant. So yeah, that was kind of the aspect I was going for. Yeah. With them.
Next.
Who's your next one? Because that was,
go.
Well, I had her written down as well.
I don't know if many people would know this one, but her name's Britt Cunningham. You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah. TikTok?
Yeah, so she's from New Zealand and she does a lot of TikToks, and I think that's how I found her on TikTok. But I love her because of the way she speaks in her videos. She speaks in a way that's like so mysterious and like you want to know more about.
It's really like soft and relaxing to listen to as well, but like enticing.
This might sound really weird, but she kind of reminds me of, have you seen the movie Gone Girl?
Yeah.
The voice in that.
Yep. So true. I've never thought about that before, but that is so spot on.
But I think that's why like, she just comes across as so mysterious, is because of like, it just reminds me of Gone Girl. And yeah, like the voice, like it's wild. But yeah.
The thing I love about her is like she comes across like visually when you see her, she looks stunning.
Put together.
Beautiful, put together.
Yeah.
But she's very real and open about like when she talks on her TikTok vlogs of, you know, the struggles of daily life and the mental health kind of journey that she's been on and stuff. So I think face value, a lot of people could look at her and just be like, oh my gosh, you're perfect.
Yeah.
You're literally perfect as a human. But then you get to know her and like know the things that she's been through in life, and like you start to connect to her on a deeper like level, not so surface level.
But I also feel like she doesn't do it in a way that's like, woe is me.
No, not at all.
She does it in like a...
It's very natural and authentic.
Yeah.
That's interesting because we've spoken about her before, but she didn't come to mind when we were doing this.
Well, she literally just came to my mind as we were talking about the last one. But yeah, she's really good at incorporating her brand deals into her everyday life too. Like,
I'll be honest, I've never seen a brand deal from her.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
She does a lot.
Does she?
Like a lot. And there you go. It's clearly so authentic and like so natural.
Yeah, I can't say I've ever seen her do a brand deal.
She does a lot.
Wow.
But she does a really good job of it too.
Maybe I have then. Maybe I have seen them and they just haven't been flagged.
Yeah.
Like, that's so interesting. Very, very interesting. I'm like, I want to know more about her. Like, who was she before she started making TikToks? And I'm sure she's probably done videos about it that I just haven't seen. But I just find her really interesting.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah. That was a good one.
Yeah.
Good one. You get a pat on the back for that one, Kayla.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm kind of steering away from like New Zealand and Australia here. This one's not going to surprise you at all.
I know who you're talking about.
Who?
Emily?
No.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I don't actually know her last name either.
Tizer on TikTok.
Yes.
Yeah. No, this one is Delaney Childs.
Oh, yeah. I had her written down as well.
Years and years and years I've been just obsessed with this girl. I think she does social media so well. Like, you cannot fault her one bit. To be fair, she works her absolute ass off, and I don't know if I could ever match that type of like hustle.
I wonder if she even sleeps, honestly.
Literally. Her entire life just seems like it revolves around creating content. And like, I'm not saying that in a negative way, because she, you know, it's been a very sustainable way of living for her for a very long time. So it's obviously working for her. But just the way she incorporates real life with beauty, fashion, hair, everything, travel. She has her hand in every little piece of social media, like every, what's the word? Like niche, I guess. And she just does it so well. Is that like, I don't know if I've just explained that very well, but she just creates content so beautifully and is so authentically herself.
And I think the reason she stays so relevant too is her consistency.
Yeah.
Like every single day you'll see her little name up on your Instagram.
She's so consistent on her stories,
Yeah.
like with documenting just her everyday life, and she makes everyday life look so beautiful. Like, you watch her stories and you're like, wow, little things I would never notice. She's taking a photo of it. And like, it could be something as simple as a flower on a tree. She takes the most beautiful photo, uploads it to her stories, and is like the little things in life.
Yeah.
And you're like, wow, why don't I look at life the same way that Delaney does?
Yeah.
But it's that mixed with like the way she like hustles and her work ethic and creating content, and you know, she does a lot of brand collabs, but again, none of them feel sponsored because they're just so on par with all of her other content as well. Like, everything she creates is pure gold.
Yep.
So yeah, she's been like an inspiration of mine for a very, very, very long time. And I often, this might sound really maybe strange, and I hope Delaney never listens to this because it might be a bit weird, but I've always wondered if she ever enters parenthood, how she would document something like that on her socials, because I just know she would do it really well while maintaining the privacy that her family needs, but also sharing everything that her followers want to see. Like, I just think she would do it so well.
Yeah.
And maybe it's because I've entered that, you know, stage of my life and have been thinking about it. Like, how am I going to incorporate this new era of being a mum into my like social media that's existed long before I was a mum? But I don't know. I'm so intrigued to see how she would do something like that. Because I just think she'd do it really well.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, my last one is Adele Maree.
Mm-hmm. She just did a collab with Jazz Hands jewelry brand.
Yeah, so I found her on TikTok, and I don't think she had that many followers back then. She had just broken up with her partner, and she was documenting her everyday life of like how she was feeling throughout that like breakup process.
I had no idea that's how she started.
Yeah, and then she literally just blew up after that. Like she just became, and I think the reason why she blew up was because she was still working full time, but like creating all this content, and probably so many people out there could relate to her, like going through the same thing or like whatever. But yeah, I think because she still had that full-time job, she was still like, you know, hustling, that people could relate to her.
Yeah.
And what she was going through. But yeah, now she's a full-time content creator. And
That's
like
so
she's
cool.
so successful.
She has her own podcast now, doesn't she?
She does. Yeah. But she just seems so down to earth and like
I feel
such
like
a nice person.
I don't have a lot to say just because I don't follow her. Like I honestly only really see a few of her TikToks with her dad come up on my For You page. That's how I kind of discovered her.
Yeah.
And then her most recent collab with Jazz's jewelry company. But yeah, I don't know a whole lot. Like, does she do a lot of brand collabs, or is her income mostly just like podcast or like...
You know what? That's an interesting question. I don't actually know, because like you said with Britt Cunningham, I don't really see many paid collabs with her.
Yeah, right.
But I don't know if, again, that's because it's so natural for her that it just like fits into her everyday content or what.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, I have seen her videos with her dad, and her dad just seems like the absolute most pure human ever. Like, they're so cute together. But I haven't really seen any of her content outside of that. I think that's just what my For You page shows me.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's obviously done incredibly well to have gone from working full-time and starting on social media to now being a full-time content creator.
Yeah.
That's a pretty cool achievement.
But she still has remained herself.
The same.
And I think that's like the best thing about her is like she's still her.
Yeah.
Like the fame hasn't gone to her head or like, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Good on her.
Does that bring us to the end of our episode?
Yeah, I don't have any more, but I want to know from them who they would consider like in the spotlight at the moment and why. Or like if there's any particular influences you want us to put in the spotlight in another episode like this. I think it's really interesting talking about like the real life people on social media and what they do well, especially for people that, again, want to get into the industry. There's some good little like key points that they could take from what we've spoken about.
Yeah, definitely.
And use it for yourself. Because like I've said a million times, I use a lot of these people as inspiration for myself as well. Yeah. I don't think there's anything wrong with taking inspo from other people.
Not at all.
Just as long as you do it in your own way and it's not like copy and paste. Do you know what I mean? Because that's where it gets a bit weird. If you have anyone that you think would be really interesting to kind of focus on in these eps, let us know on Instagram, even our Facebook page. We haven't been very active on there. We need to start using it again, but we do have a Facebook page. So you can let us know on there as well. But yeah, our next episode should hopefully be our first guest interview. I think we said that at the end of
it was supposed to be last week, but we had a few technical difficulties.
But it's coming. It's coming. We've actually got 2 guest interviews happening on Friday. So
it's gonna be a busy week for us.
Busy week. We're off to Sydney. We've got a really fun and exciting event happening this week as well. So by the time this podcast goes up, I think we will be in Sydney.
Yep.
My first night away from Lucy. Eek! Kayla might be dealing with an absolute mentee bee. But yeah, it's exciting. Big week coming up. So we will chat to you guys in the next ep.
Bye.
Bye.